Okay, so it's Mother's Day, and it's a Sunday. And for whatever reason, Sundays in my life are often a disaster where I find myself angry at my children. Today, that seems to have been especially the case. The one thing they did that was a small miracle is we managed to get them to sit still long enough to let my wife, the photographer Kimberlee Whaley, take a family portrait, actually take like a series of portraits of them. Last year, the only portraits that worked out were me and my wife looking pissed. But this year, we got photos, smiling, and stuff like that. But before we got there, each kid had thrown a temper tantrum. After letting them play in the woods for a little bit, we're gonna go on our next mission to get gardening supplies. I don't know why I'm going into so much detail. I don't know why I do that, but whatever. Get gardening supplies and stop for a snack somewhere. One kid is screaming in the back seat that she doesn't want to leave the place that we've now been gone from for 10 minutes. The other one, we're trying to figure out a snack situation. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The other one is going on and on about wanting a cinnamon bagel, which is like super inconvenient on a Sunday at 3 when the average bagel place is not going to have anything. So between the two of them, the most reasonable thing was, screw it, let's call it a day and head home. Leaving everyone disappointed, and the 4-year-old continuing to scream, though now screaming, I want to go to the new Starbucks, because that was the plan that we'd adopted. It was fun. So imagine this 4-year-old in the backseat of a car with all the windows down, screaming, top of her lungs, blood-curdling scream, I want to go to the new Starbucks, in just her underwear, because she'd also taken off all her clothes when she got into the car. And that was not the end of the temper tantrums today. They continued for both of them throughout the day. Okay, so is that the prologue? Or the prelogue? Prologue? I think it's the prologue to our video today. There's sort of two things here. One, I'm complaining about my kids. Hopefully I'm not complaining too hard. Even though this evening I got really frustrated. But in general, I'm not too upset at them. The big thing is, I know that I'm a creature of habit, that things work best when I do the same shit over and over again. So my life work. I'm the kind of person that falls apart in a vacation. I hate vacations because vacations don't work for my normal routine. I love having a job, in part because I love having a schedule. So, it's like you get up, you do this, you do that. I, make my bulletproof coffee. I drink it on the drive from work to the office, and I get my walk into the office, work, blah, 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 blah. Lunch break, make a video, take photos, whatever. I like those routines quite a bit because they're like super normalizing. They kind of force structure onto you. So weekends get really weird because for some reason I don't, and I think a lot of people do this, I'm not special in this regard, but I don't apply that same sense of structure to my life. And today, that was especially bad. Because if I really wanted to go kind of do what we were doing, I should have been out of the house and back by noon. Maybe I could have made a plan to bring them somewhere to eat a little bit later. That plan would have worked. The way that we've done it would be like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to the playground. you guys are gonna play for 45 minutes. Then when you're done, you're gonna throw dresses on over your shorts. We're gonna run over to those trees and shoot a bunch of photos. They would have loved that. They would have been totally down for that. But like, for some reason, like, I usually get my 2 cups of coffee in by 8:30, 8:45. It's like 10:35. I'm still drinking the coffee and haven't eaten any real food yet. The kids' breakfast wasn't as late as mine, but it was later. Everything about it was off. They're creatures of habit. I'm a creature of habit. And the big sort of mistake here is like not having a set. The big mistake is treating the weekends as if they're different than the weekdays. And they're not. Like, that whole idea of a weekend is largely arbitrary. That's not to say that you should work 7 days a week, but if I were being smart and capitalizing on what I already understood to be working, then I would adopt the same schedule Saturday, Sunday as I do Monday through Friday. And the kids would be a lot happier too. But instead, like, I treat the weekend as if it's some amorphous time where schedules have dissolved and normal needs have dissolved and they don't matter. But it's like, the fact that I come, like, that I have 2 days off in a row and I spend those days being really annoyed and frustrated is such a good sign that there is no such thing as a weekend. And the evidence is my kids throwing it at me that them watching a movie at 6:30 at night, bad idea. Us trying to do something that requires them to stand still when they haven't gone to the playground yet, bad idea. I think, like, why does this matter on a channel that's typically about creative process? Because it's like the same thing. Everything is like process and context, and recognizing that in most situations, what's true in one instance is going to be true in another instance. I think one of the things that ends up holding true about the stuff that I talk about is that usually what I'm doing is noticing a pattern that works in an unrelated area and then going, that seems like this, and then applying it to this other thing, and then suddenly it works. So this is my, like, this video I feel like is almost entirely for me and not for you at all, because it's really me reminding myself that the kids, like, I need to be on that schedule all the time. The kids need to be on that schedule all the time. There's no such thing as weekends. Like, they don't exist. There are just days where what you do between 9 and 5 is different activities, but they should still be activities. So I hope you enjoyed that. I think I just got my first mosquito bite of the year. Have a good night. As always, questions or comments, leave them. Thanks a lot.